All right, let's get to some Week 12 previews and picks against the spread. We'll start with this one down the SEC. You got number 7 Tennessee. They're taking on what's Georgia this week? Tennessee is they're number 7.
No,
so
those
Georgia is number 12. Georgia, and Georgia is a 9-point favorite as of right now. Over under on that one is 48.5. Georgia, as we discuss, nasty loss, 18 points to Ole Miss. Carson Beck was bad again, but it wasn't 3 interceptions bad. It was we don't trust him to actually throw the football down the field bad. Like their whole game plan was quick, behind the line of scrimmage, anything to not put Carson Beck in a situation where he could throw a pick. That's bad to me. Georgia defensively, I said earlier this year, when they're playing great defense, it's championship level. The bad part about it is they don't play great defense every week, and it's just not the same as it used to be. They gave up a ton of yards to Ole Miss. Then you get Tennessee, and it was a little bit of a weird thing for me with the whole Nico situation, and Josh Heupel was like, oh, he's fine. If we would have needed him, we could have used him. But now I think I read that he's in concussion protocol. And so there's a little bit of a question there about Nico. So where are you leaning on this football game?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Georgia is going to win the game. I did a projection of my college football playoff bracket for the end of the season. And now that we only have a few more weeks of the regular season, I'm projecting individual results, right? So I projected Georgia to win this game and stay alive. Ultimately, I have them making my bracket, and I have Tennessee not making the bracket, which is, again, as we just saw, if you put in this week's rankings, that's not how it looks. Tennessee is well positioned. They win this game. It's possible that we don't have to pull out the calculators and do all the crazy math for the SEC tiebreakers.
Calculators so bad.
Yes, but honestly, if there's a lot of 2-loss teams, it's going to be really, really messy in the SEC. Tennessee could simplify that because if Tennessee wins out, and then it's basically if Texas and A&M win out, then it's just the winner of that game plays Tennessee. And it's that simple. I don't think Tennessee is good enough to do that, though, and to win out. They've been really inconsistent on the offensive side of the ball. The defense has been really, really good. But again, a lot of questions about Nico. And then, they said, he could have come back in the game last week. It got a little close and he didn't. So a lot of questions about that. But even he's had his freshman moments. I know he's a redshirt freshman, sophomore. What is he? Whatever it is. But he had moments that were very much inexperienced early in the game or early in the season. I just have some questions about that. But I do have a lot of questions about Georgia. We've talked a lot about Carson Beck. Completely with you. You could feel it as you're watching the game that they did not trust him to throw the deep ball or really intermediate game. And then, they couldn't call the game the way that they wanted to call it against Ole Miss because they don't trust him. And they're deciding to ride that out instead of play a different quarterback, which I think is very interesting for the Dogs. The defense did get gashed. I mean, almost 400 yards of offense to Ole Miss. That is an offense that we've said is incredibly potent. Other teams have figured it out, though. Other teams were more effective against it. So I'm definitely concerned, but I still have to believe that Kirby Smart, this team, this staff can get their guys up. I actually think being on the outside looking in for the playoff bracket, that's terrible timing. If you're Tennessee, to see that they just added a little more fuel to fire. This is Kirby Smart, who convinced his team coming off a national championship that somebody said they were going to go 7-5.
Who said that?
This is a master.
Who said that?
Psychological. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea where he made that up. I don't know how
that was a Housewives quote, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to get, I don't watch the Housewives.
I know you don't.
I'll be able to get the inside jokes. But my point is that of all weeks to have this happen where you're oh, Georgia's on the outside looking in, that's a rough time to draw them and actually have to play them. So I think the Bulldogs win. I don't think they cover, but I think
okay. Bingo. I'm there with you. I think it's going to be a tight game. And you're right about Kirby and the dark arts and his ability to motivate his team. That's what he does. Okay. He's a dark artist. But I guess the biggest issue that I have is like I really don't care about his ability to motivate the team. Can you get the damn quarterback to play well? Can you get your running backs and your offensive line to run the football with consistency? They don't do very much well offensively.
They don't do anything. They don't do anything consistently.
No, they don't
at all.
And I feel the same way about Tennessee. I don't think there'll be a lot of points in this football game. I think there are two very good defenses. I think there are two offenses that leave a lot to be desired. Again, the question about Nico there for Tennessee, I think it's going to be a tight one. But if we're making picks right now, I do think Georgia's going to win this football game.